You are now listening to Feeding Off Each
Welcome
Other.
everybody.
Let's go.
To a very
We're
special,
back.
very special episode. This is we are in our new crib, as you know, if you've been following along, and we actually have stuff on the walls, but there is some missing files. We have a 404 not found behind me. It'll get better. And also, it's very special today because this is our first multi-cam podcast.
Got all the cameras.
Another small round of applause for our progress here. We made it.
Where do you look with all the cameras now? Like what?
I don't know.
I actually don't know where they are. I wasn't paying attention.
All over.
You'll
Oh,
find
God.
out. You'll find out.
Oh no. I have
and
good angles and bad, so you know.
we have all the good ones. Don't worry.
Perfect.
And we have someone doing live switching. I don't want to reveal their identity. I feel like we need to just let that play out over time. Okay?
Were we not supposed to meet him?
No.
Oh.
Don't acknowledge him. Don't look at him in the eyes.
Shit.
Yeah, he
But-
lives here.
Basically, what I'm saying is things could go very well today with our new setup, or things could go terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Well, it's an honor to be the guinea pigs on the first going through the new setup.
We're happy to have you. But welcome to Feeding Off Each Other. I still haven't memorized this intro, so I'm going to read it off my phone. A weekly podcast where we feed off the talent, humor, knowledge, and awesome stories of our guests. I couldn't remember that. That's it. I got to do some
Yeah,
homework.
it's
Is
a
that
pretty
the
long
whole
one.
thing?
I'm Matt Dennison, and I am joined by... Wait a second. No, I'm not. Where's David Wiggins?
Oh, yeah, we fired him. He's good.
He's fired. We got the new setup. We got the guy doing the switcher board. David's gone.
He's cat.
Just kidding. He actually has coronavirus.
Yeah.
This guy's a great big phony!
He
Yep.
is sick.
Yeah,
Tested
that's what he said
positive.
at least.
Tested positive last week, and he is eating a big shit sandwich. So condolences to David.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah. And as always, currently present, I am joined by not sick for
I
once.
was
The
gonna
guy who's
say,
not the sick one for once.
COVID free.
Jason
Yeah,
Lucas.
yeah, it's-
Welcome to the pod. Welcome back to the
Yeah,
pod.
it's good to still be here week after week.
We have some special guests today. Jason,
Yep.
want to introduce our guests?
Yes. Sorry. I'm playing the role of David as producer, so I'm
Juggling many balls, soundboards, intro.
it's just so actually his life's pretty easy. It's not that hard. Okay. Wow, I think I wrote most of this when I was tired. So I apologize for any inconsistencies. I also didn't know
I'm
Jeff was
excited.
going to be here. So,
He's a bonus.
yeah. Today's guest, I'll start again. One of today's guests is a musician who grew up just a ferry ride away from here in Victoria, BC. Since releasing their first self-titled EP back in 2012, they have gone, oh, and I got signed out of Google.
You were doing so well.
That's good.
You could just make it up, you know.
First self-titled EP
rap
back in
career.
2012. They have gone on to tour internationally, release multiple more EPs and albums, which have received critical acclaim, along with a Juno nomination for Music Video of the Year, and joined also by their significant other, Jeff, here in the studio. We have...
And guitarist.
And guitarist.
His name is Jeff.
His name is Jeff. The one, the only, Kandle Osborne. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
And thank you for saying I was significant.
Yes. Was that... Is that good?
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
Getting
Perfect.
serious now.
How you doing, Candle?
I am almost awake. How's that?
Yeah, it's early. We 10 a.m. podcast. 10 a.m. Should we should we move
Musicians
these?
at 10 a.m. Like it, you know, it's hard. I'm so tired.
When do you normally wake up?
Like noon if it was up to me, but
You're a nooner.
But it's not up to you.
no. I woke up at 7:45 today because I knew it would be a process, and I just sat in bed like crying and drinking coffee for a while until
That was the pregame for this podcast.
Really get in the mood.
I was like, I hate mornings and just doom scrolling Instagram, looking at puppies and drinking Americanos.
Well, we were gonna ask you what your daily routine was, but we already got
Yeah, now
right
you know.
past that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's good to know your routine as a musician. This is what inspires you in the morning: drinking coffee and crying. Seems like it would conjure
Pretty
up a lot of
much.
great lines in your music.
I mean, if you've heard the records, it's not a stretch, is it? She wakes up every morning in tears, and then writes these sad songs.
So wait, if you're waking up at noon, when are you going to bed?
Like 3.
3
4.
on a regular day.
PM.
3 p.m.
Yeah, 3 p.m.
It's a short
Oh,
window,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's intense. It's a
Yeah. I'm up for 3 hours just banging out hits and then going back to bed.
It's like a koala.
Yeah. Thank you.
They sleep for 22 hours a
think.
day.
Are you
Do
guys
they
think
really?
They do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to be one.
Yeah.
Cool.
you can be anything you want if you put your mind to it?
Even
Really?
a koala.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you
You
could be a
just say
koala. No, I mean it.
All right. I'm going to work on that.
Do you guys have similar sleep schedules? Or are you guys like totally oppo?
not at all. I'd say pretty opposite.
What? No. I
You
try.
disagree? I'm more of a wake up and start the day kind of person.
You're-
I attempt to match. That's got to count for something.
The attempt is there. The attempt is there. Yeah.
I lay in bed when he is sleeping and I read like medieval incest novels until I fall asleep.
Medieval.
I thought I was the only one.
And then Jeff wakes up and I groan and attempt to get up, within the 2 hours that he wakes up. So we're pretty much the same.
Yeah. Identical is the answer
Yeah.
to your question.
Exactly the
Exactly
same.
That is- It's good that you guys are synced up then.
Yeah.
So what's been going on lately with you? How's been the start of the year for you?
It's been pretty good. We are making a new record, which is very exciting. We're producing it ourselves. which is
Who's
also
we? Who's
Jeff
we?
and I.
Oh, just you two. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of started by accident. I just started writing the new songs and Jeff and I just started playing around with them and we were trying to make demos. I realized I don't know how. And the demos just keep getting more and more advanced and now they're turning into the record. And we're like, okay, I guess we're producing this record and it's about half done now and we're doing it completely ourselves, which is exciting. And this is like the second year that I'm an independent artist, which is exciting and terrifying. But it's really cool just making all your own decisions and knowing there's no set deadline. There's no trying to please the label. Like, what's the radio hit going to be? You can't make a 5-minute song, you dummy kind of thing. And we're just doing what we want. And we're making music that we say it's got to be groovy and you have to want to have sex to it or else it's not making the record. So that's our entire rule. And so far we've achieved that.
I would say so. Yeah.
I would say so.
Like medieval incest sex or
Well,
just
whoa.
normal
No,
sex?
that's sleepy time. Like get cozy and read about medieval incest.
Yeah. Lit a nice candle.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what do you mean you don't know how to make a demo? Like are you saying that it's just kind of like you're throwing shit at the wall and like you don't really know what you're doing and the next thing you know you're like, hey, this is starting to sound like a song. Is that what you mean? Or
Well, I mean, like the most lo-fi version of a demo would just be like a voice note, me and a guitar. Like, here's the song.
okay.
But then when I actually try and start turning it into how I really hear it with the right like drums and bass and keys, I'm like, I'm just making the song now at this point. And then you get in this weird territory where you're like, do I just commit to this MIDI keyboard or do I go find the actual piano sound that I want and do it properly? So everything has started out as like a placeholder and we just keep making those placeholders more and more real. And then it would be absolutely silly to redo everything at this point because it sounds great.
So I guess when you're working with a label, you have to deliver demos to even get a green light to know that you can move forward. But when you're
Oh, yeah.
independent, you still make the demo because it's part of the process, but you just don't know how far to go with the demo because you already have the path in your head. You know what the end product's going to sound like.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
make it twice, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I do want to explore label options again. I was a little traumatized from the last few, but at this point, I'm like, I'd be open to it again. And in order to start that process again, everyone wants to hear what you're working on. And I don't want to send anyone a version of a song that's just an acoustic guitar and a vocal because that is not at all what the record's going to sound like. So now I'm just like eye on the record. I'm not really thinking about anything else.
When you send demos to friends, you ever fearful that someone's going to leak something or like it's gonna get in the wrong hands, or because I have some friends who are musicians and like I know they're very precious with it, and I've been caught a couple times sending a SoundCloud link to someone
really?
because they can see that it was sent. And I'm like, oh crap. Like, are you like super protective over your music and who
I
gets it?
used to be, and I recently had a funny little experience with my best friend who is my biggest supporter, but she does not like understand the industry stuff, of course. And I sent her one of our new songs that I was very excited about and I knew that she would love. And then the next day she told me, she's like, I sent it to everyone I know and they all loved it and agree it's your best work. And I'm like, dude, you're not really supposed to send it out to everyone you know. And she's like, but they love it. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, I'm happy that they love it. And when it actually comes out, maybe they'll be like, oh, I heard it first.
That's cool.
Good intentions, right?
But I'm like, what's really going to happen? If someone like full on stole it or ripped it off, I'd find that very hilarious. And then probably be an interesting PR campaign around it.
Yeah, I feel like it only
Yeah.
like when you're a massive superstar and like your next hit gets leaked, I feel like it only makes it bigger.
Yeah.
There's like now drama around
Totally.
it.
Totally.
I know,
You
like
gotta hear it.
what's gonna happen? Like, come on, nothing bad. I did find that very funny though. I sent it to everyone I know. Like,
Perfect.
huh? I sent it to you privately, but okay.
So what is your writing process like?
Oh, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
I still feel, I think so many people say this, but the best ideas come when you're not looking for them.
Mm.
At the worst times, you know, you're like on the bus with like 100 sketchy, smelly people, and then like, oh no,
Yeah, I take the
get
bus.
Hey, wait a second.
gotta get my phone out, and I'm just like awkwardly humming this like idea. into
Our
my
our
phone.
largest demographic is actually people who ride the bus.
Yeah,
So
everyone
TransLink, most
listening
of our-
right now is on the bus.
Is TransLink gonna pull
So
their
we all
sponsorship now?
stink. I have to say that about the bus. All of us are responsible for that stench.
It is disgusting. Soon this podcast set will smell like a bus. It kind of looks like the blue couch here we're on.
Oh.
Kind of looks like the TransLink.
I wonder if they have
Blue.
old fabric
This
you
is
could use to
way
reupholster
nicer.
these.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We should just turn this into a bus.
Yeah, some C-bus seats.
I'd be more into the bus if this was the bus.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the ideas come to you when you're not looking for them. I relate to that. I feel like most of my ideas come to me like in the shower or maybe while I'm
shower's
sitting on the
a good one.
John on the Jean.
On the Jean.
The
That's
That's
the
the
Jean.
French toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the fancier song ideas you get. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, the Jean idea. Very nice.
Where's your like? Do you have like a location in your home, maybe, or outside that's brought you the most ideas? Like your bed or shower or something out walking in the park.
Walking's a big one for sure. Or like in bed about to fall asleep, reading the medieval incest book, and then I'm like, oh crap. I have a great idea. Then I have to put the medieval incest book away and then voice note some pitchy ramblings into my phone at 3 a.m.
Is that how you capture most of your ideas in voice notes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Is
There's
it-
like 5,000 right now.
Oh.
I'm like, oh God.
And no, they're not organized.
No, my hard drive too is the most terrifying thing that Jeff has ever seen.
I can't look at it. I
He
can't.
still loves me though, I think. Even though I'm a mess.
It's not dependent on the state of the hard drive, thank God.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God. That would be a problem.
Do you capture your ideas in any other way? Any written notes or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I get made fun of a lot that I'm still using like paper and pen. Like I have notebooks that I like to write in because there's something about typing up a song, like using your computer all the time when you're being artistic that makes it yucky for me. I think I want to get one of those, what are the things? The tape things?
Dictaphone,
Yeah, I want to get one of those.
Oh yeah.
I want to go way back. I think that's
Mm.
more fun.
like an old-timey therapist. Old-timey, like 1980s therapist.
Yeah, well, that's old timey.
That's
I
old-timey.
wasn't even born in those days.
Do you guys remember Speak Boys?
No.
I think it was called Speak Boy.
What's that?
It was like it was a toy that just recorded your voice, but it was made in the 90s, so that tech didn't really exist for it as like a toy. It was marketed on MTV or Much Music or
I want
whatever
one.
kids programs. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get that.
Just like a
You
tape
should record
recorder?
your.
Can we get sponsored by?
I hope so. Should record your next album on a Speak Boy.
Yeah, they're definitely doing well. Still in business, I'm sure.
I think it was called Speak
I know what you're talking about. It was like a very colorful little toy, had a few buttons on it, some sound
I
effects.
feel like I did have that. That does sound familiar.
Let's go to a cutaway of Speak Boy.
No, Jeff, we don't
thanks.
have that technology. Stop. We're not
I
at that
mean-
level yet.
Oh, there's like a, I don't know.
Can I see?
Maybe he's. This is not what I'm looking for. I accidentally typed in Peak Boy.
Oh,
That looks like a Korean artist, maybe. That's
he
not.
looks nice.
That's not
I was
what
gonna
I
say
want.
there's probably a shipping container full of Speak Boys somewhere,
At the bottom
like in a
of the ocean.
junkyard. Yeah,
Yeah.
This is all the Furbies. R.I.P.
like
Oh.
Storage Wars is
Yeah.
just begging to be discovered.
Mm.
Someone's yelling at their computer right now, listening to me. It was called a Talk Boy.
Talk Boy.
Oh, that is different than I
Oh,
thought.
I want one.
I had one of those, or my brother had one of those.
Oh, that looks actually pretty cool.
I
Yeah,
want one very badly.
that's what you need. You need
If
to rock
they're
that.
listening right now, I
Okay.
will make the next album entirely on a Talk Boy.
That's actually pretty smart.
Thank
Whoa.
So do
$1 million
you
idea.
do you revisit your voice notes often, or you? Because I'm the same way, where I have an idea, I record them, and then just have like a mess of notes, and I don't. It's like 2 years later, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that note. Never did anything with it. Are you regularly kind of sifting through your ideas?
Sometimes. Yeah, if it's one I'm pretty clearly excited about, then absolutely. But do you ever do the middle of the night ones that are just
Like wait,
embarrassing?
like you wake up and then you
yeah,
write.
like at 5 a.m. and I grab my phone and I think I'm writing something genius and I check it, and the next day in the afternoon it's just me being like, I'm like, what? I thought I had to wake up and record that.
That
Like,
was good though.
I was like, this
never
is,
know.
This is how I'm gonna go platinum. And I'm like, no, I was wrong there. Way off.
Yes, definitely.
It would sound even better on a speak.
Talk
What was
Boy.
it? Talk Boy.
Talk Boy.
Talk Boy, come on. Gotta
I-
get that sponsorship.
I don't do the middle of the night notes, but Brooke, my lady, she has what's it called? Like kind of like a sleep app where it wakes you up based on your, like, if you're moving around in bed, or if
What?
it's
Oh yeah.
what's it called? Sleep cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it detects if you're moving around, so
And it
it'll
wakes you up?
it'll wake you up when you're in the middle of a light sleep cycle, so you don't wake up super groggy. Could be a game changer for you, actually.
Yeah.
That sounds very disruptive.
No. You set
No?
it to.
No, it's
you
good.
It's just an alarm. It's basically an alarm, but you'll set a half-hour range of a time that you want to wake up. So say you want to wake up at 7:30, it'll wake you up at some point between 7 and 7:30, and you can set it either with motion, so it'll detect when you're moving around and you're in a light stage of sleep, so you wake up and it's just it's easy.
Yeah, it's not
Or-
just any time you're in a light sleep that wakes you up. That'd be awful.
Yeah, not anytime.
I thought it was like any time of the night. If you like roll over, it's like, get up.
Or it'll wake you up when it hears noise. So it's basically recording you all night. And
Ugh.
Brooke and I have these recordings where we're talking to each other in the middle of the night, and we
No.
don't remember.
In
and
your sleep?
Yeah, and we're muttering to each
Whoa.
other, and we're saying nonsense to each
God.
other.
That's incredible.
That's the last.
That's one of the recordings.
You should release that.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
That
like
sounds
your
cool.
end of life retrospective. That'll be a part of it. It'll be like your lifetime achievement award, and it'll be like, and now 6 hours. Of,
We actually stopped recording because it freaked us out.
Yeah,
I
It was
bet.
getting
I-
kind of like
I would
satanic.
too.
Yeah.
really, was it
Well-
English or were you speaking in tongues?
Ooh.
I mean, it's nonsensical, but just the fact that you're speaking and you don't have any recollection of it's kind of
Whoa.
spooky. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Jeff says the odd like one-liner sometimes.
Yeah,
but
mostly
they
work on
always
my
crack
stand up
me up.
when I'm sleeping.
Somebody's just like, I don't want to eat that or something. I'm like, what? What? And then that's it. Back to medieval incest she goes.
So how do
Super chill.
you guys work together? What's the working life relationship like between you two right now?
What's the process, Kandle? What's the process?
Oh, I was hoping you wanted to take that.
I can.
Go for it.
Well, let's see. First, it usually all starts with a voice note or something scribbled in a notebook. Kandle's like, hey, I've got this idea. I think it's probably terrible, but I want to show you anyways. Please don't laugh at me. And then she'll play it for me, and I'll say, like, that was amazing. Come on, that was amazing. She usually won't believe me for about half a second, and then we'll kind of play it one more time. And she's like, okay, I believe you. And then we'll go into kind of like, I guess we have kind of two avenues. Either we'll just like play it with whatever pots and pans we have handy and see like what the feel is, what the groove is. or we'll go into what I like to call the template zone,
Yes.
where we'll just basically just hammer out like a really rough MIDI instrument sort of template of what the structure of the song is. So then we know like, oh, we can play over this and we know what needs to go in where, and kind of like, it's like you're drawing an outline kind of thing, you know, like this section's this long, you know what the BPM is, or roughly, you know, what key it's in. Those are the two main avenues. And then from that point, either you've played it like a million times just acoustically, and then you go into the studio, or you've already got a template you've played to, and then you can start replacing things with the actual, you know, non-shitty version of whatever it is, guitars, whatever. But
Are your voice notes like, are you singing a melody, or are you just speaking on an idea? You know, like, well, I have no clue what these voice notes are like. Are you
Well,
kind of like humming a tune,
If
or?
you didn't make me turn off my phone, I could show you.
I just meant put it on silent.
I know, but I got scared because you know when people call twice, that's how you get past the silent thing.
don't tell
And my
people.
mom is big on the call twice. Like if I don't answer the first time, she's like, I know your phone's on silent. I'm gonna keep calling. So I had to turn it off. But my voice notes are like just straight up the song idea. But I've only recently started hearing Jeff's, and he talks, and it cracks me up so much. He's like, here's like a cool bass line that may or may not work, and he'll start playing it, and he's like, that was a wrong note. Oops. And then he's just like chatting.
So
the
you're
whole
playing a guitar in your note.
Yeah, like I'll usually
He'll announce what it is.
well, because I like to leave a note for myself, because even like if it's titled whatever, guitar idea for X song or whatever, I like to like at least like, what was my train of thought when I was doing this? Like, oh yeah, this is like what I was thinking would be a cool layer to add on top of X, Y, or Z or whatever. I like to, because then it's for myself. Then I will remember exactly what's going on.
And it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So
More importantly.
still trying to get to the bottom of it. You said it'll be a song idea. What is that? Are you just speaking on a concept, like a theme, like lyrical
No. It's like I'll literally just pick up an acoustic guitar and either hum something, or if I have the actual words or placeholder words, it usually starts with just like a little bit of a chorus or like a slight vibe.
Okay.
And then once I think I have a loose arrangement, I'll voice note the whole arrangement.
And I think
Send it
almost
to
all
Jeff.
your voice notes start with an acoustic guitar. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty much every single one, unless it
Yeah.
was just your voice, but most of them have the guitar.
Yeah, the just voice ones are usually the middle of the night ones, which we now know are always terrible. Constantly bad.
I'm not used to being around such talented musicians, so I don't know the process. Excuse me for asking. Okay, I don't know.
We're trying to steal your process.
Yeah, basically.
Voice note.
Isn't that the
Voice
premise of the
notes.
podcast? You're
Yeah.
feeding off other people's process.
He gets
Yeah.
it. This guy's
Stealing
the first
off
one.
each other.
I like how you're doing it in plain sight too. It's really clever.
Brilliant.
So your dad is famously Neil Osborne of 5440.
What?
If you didn't know that.
No.
Has anyone ever talked about this?
And we just wanted to reveal this to you.
It's like a Maury Povich.
What do you think about this?
Springer. Like,
And he's here right now.
he is my father. Are you sure?
And we want to ask him, what are his voice notes like?
Oh my God, I've never checked out his voice notes. I
Mm.
wonder. I bet they're really funny too.
Does he do the same thing?
I have no idea. I got to ask him. Good point.
Yeah.
I feel like he would. Most of the things we do, we realize we do the same.
Mm.
But he's a real perfect weirdo. So his are probably all over the place.
I'm curious now. Are you like, I wonder who learns off who more these days? If he's learning from you or you're learning from him more?
I think it's always both, which I like. And he's funny. He's a very awesome dad, but he's also like almost more of a best friend. Like he got mistaken for my brother like my entire life because he'd
Really?
come pick me up from school in like a hoodie and skate shoes and a guitar, and he's like, "Yo, want to get McDonald's?" And people were like, "Who is that?" Like, that's Dad. But we do have a lot of funny things with songwriting. Like just not too long ago, he found one of my songs from 2 records ago, Holy Smoke, in his notebook because I had found his notebook and I needed paper and I was writing the lyrics, writing the song. And then like a year later, he's like, "Holy shit, you stole this song from me. I found it in my notebook. I was like, dude, I wrote this in your notebook. I just borrowed the notebook. He's like, no, I wrote it. Look, it's the same handwriting. I'm like, we have the same handwriting. But he was so convinced I was going through his old shit and stealing songs.
And it was yours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
100%. But our writing is exactly the same and equally terrible. Very hard to read.
Your writing is not terrible.
It's like a mix of capital letters and stick people.
Maybe I
Like,
just get the fancy writing.
I try really hard
hieroglyphs.
on your Valentine's cards and stuff. I'm like, make sure he can read it.
You're right-handed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get
Yeah,
that from?
I got that
Yeah.
from the fake. Yeah. Are left-handed people actually more intelligent? Are they more creative?
I thought they were just more
Probably.
evil.
More evil? Yes.
I wish I was one.
I agree. All left-handed people are more evil, for sure.
Also, they just get so much ink on their, I don't know.
Yes.
You'd be always
Mhm.
washing your hand.
You should probably do that anyways. Just the one, of course.
Not while you're writing, though. I mean,
So
that's
they're evil but more healthy, is what you're saying.
Yes, yeah.
Mm.
And I would like to be one day.
So you have a few projects going on. Maybe you can clarify this for me, because you have project with Jeff, you have your own music, but you also have a project with your father, Family Affair. Is this correct?
Family curse.
Family Curse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He told me I really fucked up naming the band because we've had some hilariously bad luck things happen to us since we decided to be called A Family Curse. But it is mostly for fun and just a really hilarious experience. We threw Jeff in that band as well. I just make him play with me for everything now. It's very fun.
What does Jeff play for you?
My heartstrings.
Oh.
In Family Curse, he plays bass, and then on my records, he's now playing pretty much everything. I didn't even know he was a musician when I started seeing him.
What'd you think? Well, I know
I
Jeff
thought he was
as
just hot,
That's how I know him too.
right?
I met Jeff on a music video set, and I know
Me
him as a
too.
special effects kind of do it all kind of guy.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
right.
Yeah,
That's,
but you're multi-talented.
I like to do a lot of things.
He's kind of just good at everything. But I met him
Well, I don't know about
filming the first music video for the last album cycle. He was working on that video. And just
Yeah,
right away, I was like, damn. And a year later, he like started picking up a guitar and a piano. And I was like, excuse me?
Picked up a whole piano.
What
So
is
he's
this?
strong too?
He's
What the
strong
hell?
too. I know. He's dreamy.
God damn.
And then we just started making music together, just very naturally evolved into, hey, you want to be my band? My entire band.
That's great.
Yeah, we think so.
I think so too.
So going back to your dad, you just found out that your dad was the lead singer of a very famous Canadian rock band.
What's the band?
5440.
It's a weird name.
Mm.
Don't.
A bunch of numbers.
We should Wikipedia
Four
what that means.
numbers.
That's several numbers.
5440.
Is that a phone number?
There's a hyphen in there.
Whose
too.
number is that?
I don't know. I think it was my locker code, or maybe that was his locker code. In high
That's
school.
all of our codes for everything. Oh, please don't hack us.
Well, we got to ask, what was it like growing up with a rock star dad?
Well, considering it's all I know, it's hard to answer, but I loved it. I gotta say, it was a very exciting childhood because I was constantly backstage and in studios and at festivals, and that was just normal for me, which is fun when you're just a little scrawny kid with a mushroom cut and a bad attitude. But I just loved the environment of it, and he is someone that really inspires a lot of loyalty. So he always had a great crew around him. The band is amazing, and everyone was basically family. Like, I think I was about 14 when I realized all of the guys in his team weren't actually my uncles. You know, it was like Uncle Road Manager, Uncle like Roadie, Uncle this, Uncle that. And I actually thought we were all related.
Would you
But-
call them uncle?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
Uncle Rhodey?
My favorite Uncle Roadie
He seems
was,
responsible.
he was this guitar tech guy, and I remember he would let me like lay down in the guitar cases side stage because I was a weird kid and
Aw,
thought that was cozy.
that's so cute.
And I would look up at at his station with all his tuning things and all his guitars, and he had all these like porn star posters everywhere that were all like autographed to him. And I remember just staring at them when I'm like 10 years old, like, whoa, am I gonna look like that one day? Like, that's crazy. And I'm just like, Dad's playing on stage, but I'm staring at these naked girls, like, whoa. Just no idea that maybe that was inappropriate, but
Incredibly
it
jealous.
inspired me. Yeah. I was
amazing.
inspired to become a woman from the porn stars on the guitar cases.
Yeah, they do good work.
Yeah,
A lot of
Yeah.
art.
I was impressed.
When did you first start making music yourself?
I actually started giving some boys at school like the odd loony or toonie to teach me like Pink Floyd riffs and Zeppelin riffs and stuff
Really?
on the bleachers. I'd be like, give you a toonie if you teach me Wish You Were Here.
It's the most Canadian
I
come-up
know.
story I've ever heard.
The toonie really sealed
The
it.
Yeah.
toonie. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
give
they
you a
went-
toonie if you can teach me the tune.
Or like a
pack of
trade for a
Timbits.
fruit roll up, like whatever I had.
You're telling me they wouldn't want to just do it for you for free?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't ask. I thought I had to offer something.
You could have saved so much money.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Damn it. I know.
Hundreds of toonie.
And then the next thing I knew, I was writing the most emo teenage shit you'll ever hear in your life. That's quite cringy to go back on. But you're like 14 and think the world's against you. And like
So you first started making music around that age, like 10 to 14 or?
around 13, 14, I mostly started by just writing like really emo teen angsty poems. And then realized that they worked over E minor, which was the only chord I knew.
It's the only one you need.
Only one you need. And just started building from there. And I wasn't a very good singer and I was extremely anxious, still am. And eventually I started a band with my sister and Louise Burns, if you know Louise. She is a legend.
Mhm.
She
No.
got signed by Madonna when she was 11, if, put that in perspective.
Oh, wow.
So she was in like a teen girl pop punk band called Lilacs when she was growing up. And then she basically like turned 18, 19 and was like, oh God, I don't want to be in a teen band anymore. But she's a great producer, a great writer, great
Yeah,
everything.
she's incredible.
So we formed a band called the Blue Violets, but I just mostly wrote the songs and played lead guitar because I would rather die than sing.
At the time.
Oh God, yeah.
Really?
And then about like a couple albums later, they both went on to do other things. And Louise went with her solo record. My sister was like, I think I'm more interested in making money than being a musician. So she started doing things with her brain. And I was left with all these songs. And I was like, well, shit, I guess I better try and learn how to sing. And I spent a long time in my parents' basement making my first EP. Mostly just trying to prove that I could do it for myself. Like I didn't have any goals or anything. And once it was done, I moved to Montreal, posted it on Facebook for free because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and started getting record deal offers. And I was like, oh shit, that was kind of easy.
That's actually an insane story. Like,
Yeah, that's wild.
That's
I know,
crazy.
my career started really easy and then got like progressively very hard. I went backwards.
At what age were you touring with your father's band?
Like as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. With like single digits, like 7, 8, 9, or?
We would usually like my sister and I would take turns having like a weekend with dad
Okay.
because mom wasn't big on us missing school. Not
Mm.
that we learned anything at all.
I asked just, I'm curious of the crossover of being on tour and that inspiring you to make your own music, or if it was just kind of something that you got elsewhere.
Yeah, it kind of happened by accident. Like after high school, I went to photography school and I just was planning on being a visual artist.
Oh.
And then I did the Montreal move, and next thing I was touring Europe, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll try this whole music thing.
Wow.
Give it a whirl.
That's a good time to try with your
Yeah.
Europe tour.
Yeah, exactly. Saw that big tower and stuff.
I know the one.
Eiffel?
Yeah.
Big Ben?
Yeah.
It was a little underwhelming.
Pizza.
I'm like, yeah, that's what it looks like on TV as well.
So you didn't always have the voice. Is this do you just think this, or is it true? You did
it's
not.
True.
So you developed this. You had
She
to
says
practice
this. I don't know.
Yeah.
He hasn't heard. I worked really hard to try and learn how to sing, and it was really bad for a very long time. But I would learn like my select Radiohead songs and Nirvana songs and shit, and I would record myself in GarageBand singing them over and over again. And my ear was always pretty good, so I would just listen back and go wrong note, pitchy, 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 pitchy. I would do it over and over again until it started sounding at least like in key. But it was so like I was quite terrible to the point that in the Blue Violets, it was the running joke of Kandle's solo album. Like whenever I was holding a song back from them or hadn't shown them a song yet, they would laugh and say, "Oh, is this song for Kandle's solo album?" Because that concept was just like ridiculous to all of us that I would ever do that.
Can you imagine?
And then, yeah, I know. Even with the first EP, like, I think it's really cool, but I didn't know how to really sing yet. Like, it's a vibe, and I love the vibe. But it wasn't until I started, like, touring and having to be the lead singer and, like, things started unlocking. And I like, this song that we had called Not Up to Me that did very well and won some awards and stuff. I actually was being a little brat in the studio at the time when we were making it because I was getting pushed to like belt the chorus and I didn't know how to belt. I was like, that's absurd. And I was singing it in a low octave, like, you know, kind of moody and quiet. And I wanted to show them all that they were wrong. So I did one take of belting it to like prove to them what a bad idea it was. And then it sounded great. And I had like the perfect voice cracks. And I was like, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. This was a really good idea.
I'm so glad you were wrong because that's a great vocal take. It's
I know
so
the
good.
original chorus was like, it's not up to me.
Which is cool, but
Very like Lana. But yeah, it was the wrong vibe for sure. But I was basically just trying to show everyone that they were wrong, but it was me.
Well, it's inspiring that you think that you didn't originally have the voice, because when I hear your voice, I think she's born with it. Like, it's, you know, you can't learn that.
totally.
But, I mean, Jeff kind of seems to maybe be skeptical that you weren't born with it.
Yeah, but he met me when I could sing.
That's true.
Like me and my sister, when we were little, we would play singer and manager, and I would play manager.
What?
The dream.
Like some
yeah.
kids played
So
house,
fun.
but we were like singer and manager. And I have a clipboard. I'm like 6 years old. I'm like, well, we have your interviews scheduled and sound checks at 4.
All the while sitting in a guitar case.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We.
What do you have any standout memories of being on tours? Crazy things you saw? I mean, you gave us the vivid visual of looking up at the porno posters, which is
Super
great.
vivid.
Huge highlight, obviously.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't know. Anything else that comes to mind? Crazy stories from following all the uncles around.
I mean, obviously several. There's 2 standout ones that are coming to me at this early hour in the morning. One was my dad was never quite understood why I was a diehard Our Lady Peace fan. From the age of like 6, he was like, like, really? And they were like opening for him. But I was like, oh, help here. Like, I was so obsessed. And backstage at one of the shows, I was like, come over here. Like, meet Rain. You're such a fan. He's like, hey, my kid's like obsessed with you. I want you to meet her. And I just like almost peed my pants, started to cry, and I just hid behind my dad. And I was like, ah! And he's like, that didn't go well at all. Like, you think I'd be kind of cooler with celeb. Jeff knows I'm terrible meeting
Famously
people.
terrible.
Famously terrible at meeting famous people. I once met Beyonce and I like hugged her like a gangster and said, sup, B. Like, it was, just cringe.
Yance.
I sat beside David Duchovny once and just started crying. Like, it was like, I should be cooler than that. And
That's
I'm
great
not.
though, because in their shoes, super memorable.
Yeah, wait, hold on. You didn't cry when you came in here.
Yeah.
I know,
the fuck?
not
No,
yet.
she cried downstairs when I let her in.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's true.
she had dried her tears
Oh,
by the
man,
time she got up
they
here.
do exist. Fuck, I do
But-
have to do this.
It really does smell like a bus in here.
Yeah.
Just like they
those are
said.
bus smell tears. I do remember one. I don't remember where it was. It was like looked like it was like a Woodstock thing, but obviously we're in Canada, so it wasn't. It was like probably in Alberta. But people were mud wrestling and it was chaos and like just madness, like peak 90s alt grunge, whatever kind of situation. And I was like sitting side stage watching the show. I like was doing cartwheels or something awkward like that, like in a way that people could see. And then I was like, I should stage dive. So I just got up and ran off the stage and like jumped into the crowd. And my dad stopped the song and was like,
No way.
like so much.
He was playing. You got up on stage. You jumped into the crowd.
Yeah.
He saw you.
And I was in a lot of trouble.
Oh, and he just
But I was
stopped the song.
It's the only time I've ever seen him like stop when he's playing. And I'm like, oh no.
Did they catch you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I don't
No,
know.
she hasn't talked to him since.
I'm like 70 pounds at the time and flying into the front row. Like,
How
I
old were
could've-
you, Kandle, when you did that?
I think 8.
You're so brave.
Well, I
You would do
was
that.
so brave. Now I'm terrified.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Jeff knows. But it's
Not everything.
yeah.
How many times have you crowd surfed? Can you count on one hand, two hands, more?
I think I've only actually done it twice. There was that time, and then one time I was in like grade 8. I just drank a bunch of vodka Red Bull, as you do when you're 12, and I went to the Strokes concert, and I was at the back, and I was like, "This won't do." And I was also a cheerleader, so I was very good at jumping around, whatever. And I tapped on 2 big guys' shoulders, and I was like, "Hey, lift me up." And so they gave me a boost, and I crowd surfed all the way to the front. It was great. It was the Strokes. I was like, "This is
That's genius.
awesome." I
Must-
lost a shoe. I lost a red Converse. My mother was very upset with me. She couldn't tell I was drunk, though. That was good.
She couldn't tell.
No, she was so fixated
The
on the
Red
shoe.
Bull.
probably
Remember
could.
the Red Bull?
She
was
probably could.
like, well, I think she actually believed I was good for a little while.
Oh.
A brief period
Yeah,
where she
well.
thought I was just very silly.
I mean, I feel like that's what a kid thinks of the adult drinking. They're drinking their silly juice.
Yeah.
The adults would know way too well.
Try that with the cops next time. They
Yeah.
I'm just feeling really silly.
Exactly.
I have not crowd surfed. How about you
Ever?
fellas? No, never. I'm ashamed. Maybe I'll
Today's
do it at
the
a
day.
Candle. Right now?
Yeah, we
Feel
got-
you.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff's super strong, so like,
He
he could
is-
probably just do it alone.
I only lift pianos.
No.
The-
Have you guys not crowd surfed?
Yeah, I have.
You
So
have?
Sorry?
it's a good
When?
way.
yeah,
I would
dish.
say like
Is that
a lot
share?
of times during that when we
A
had the
lot
Olympics.
of times.
Remember Olympics time? There's a lot of concerts going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you in the
and
Olympics?
I was not. No.
You
He
won
won the
gold.
crowd surfing.
Yeah.
gold
I won
medal.
crowd surfing gold. No big deal. But we found, me and my friends found it was the most efficient way. If you're at the front, you're like, gotta get a drink.
Backflip.
Yep. Go straight back and they
Nice.
pull you all the way to the back and you're at the bar.
The reverse candle.
It's the reverse
It's
candle.
the reverse.
That's
Yeah.
what-
I gotta try that next.
I gotta head to the trademark office. But yeah, no, that's where it's born. Not since I'm kind of like you now.
Wait.
I'm scared.
I know it's scary now.
It's very scary.
I did a mosh pit this year. That was exciting.
Well, we went to that concert at Crankworks and there was a mosh pit, and that was
Ooh.
one of the first times I felt really old. Where I was like, these hooligans are hitting each other. Like, everyone, back away, back away.
I thought you were going to bring up another time when we were at Contact and the guy was crowd surfing butt ass naked, had no
Oh.
clothes on at
Nice.
all.
Oh yeah.
I have a
No.
photo of Jason and the dude. I
Yeah.
think-
The naked dude?
yeah.
Give the
Oh,
people what
no.
they want.
Oh, that's not a comfortable crowd surf.
That takes balls.
Hey,
oh.
That- everyone's-
Hold on.
Hold on. You got to say that again.
Hold on.
That takes balls.
I feel like I saw way too many aborted crowd surfs that it kind of like turned me off of them.
Have you
Oh,
never
yeah.
done it?
No, I used to go to like a lot of hardcore shows and stuff in church basements in Kelowna where I grew up. For some reason,
Low
that was
ceiling.
like
You're
the only
so
place I could
cool.
afford is like weird rec center and church basements. And like the amount of people I saw in girl jeans just hit the floor because nobody
Oh.
would catch them. I kind of like got turned off of it.
Well, next tour when this album comes out, you're gonna do the backwards fall while you
The
shred
trust
a
fall?
solo. Yeah, trust fall while shredding. I'll catch you.
But the trauma. I
I'll
don't know.
crowd surf first, and then I got you.
Yeah,
Have
that'd be great.
you seen any crowd surf mayhem at your shows?
I'm probably not a big crowd surfing band, which breaks my heart to say. I've seen like the odd. I've been flashed before, which I always really appreciate. Because I'm like,
Ooh.
By
Man,
girl?
woman.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm
Okay.
a woman up here, and I just saw boobies. Like, thank you,
That's amazing.
thank you
That's
for
awesome.
trusting me with your chest.
Flashback to the porno posters.
Yeah, I'm like, I
Whoa,
like
yeah.
this. Had the bra thrown on stage before.
Very cool.
But like the weirdest experience at a show I've ever seen is like weird crowd behavior. We were playing in Germany and it was this beautiful, weird venue of just like pillows and couches. Like people were just, it was packed with like cuddlers.
What?
Were you in Berlin?
No, I can't remember where because my memory sucks, but somewhere German. But everyone's just like vibing out and like people were actually like spooning. Like it was adorable. And then in the middle of the show, a full-on fist fight broke out. And it was like, I've never played to a more like relaxed, cuddly, safe room in my life. And then next thing it was fist fights happening because one guy like took another guy's pillow or something. And it was actually
gross.
the one time ever of all the shows I've ever played where I actually had to stop and be like, you guys stop fighting. And like security came in, had to break up these guys fighting over a pillow. And I'm like, what just
How do you know it was over a pillow?
Because I was watching.
I'm just trying to picture like a Vancouver venue. Like, where are the pillows? Like, I guess.
Yeah, how
They're in
clean is-
Germany.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is this
Never
outdoor or
been
indoor?
It was indoor.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was picturing like park blankets, but this is
It was-
inside.
yeah, indoor. It was a really cool venue. And then that happened. And we all just stood there for a second. I was like, do I start this song again or pick up where I stopped? Like, I was so thrown off.
So,
Weird.
was that your worst crowd experience, city wise?
Oh, God, no. I kind of liked that one.
Oh, okay.
It was exciting.
What takes the top pick as worst crowd?
Barrie, Ontario.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Name calling.
Shout
Well,
out to
I-
all our Barrie listeners.
Yeah,
I
who are also
played-
ride the bus. They also ride the bus.
I played for the bartender and the opening band.
Oh, it was empty.
It was empty.
Okay. So,
And the sad thing is, it was a great show.
oh.
That one's just for you.
But we were standing there like, do we still play? And everyone was like, I mean, we're here. And the opening band was like, we'll stay.
That's nice.
How confused was the sound guy?
Well, he was with us. He was our guy.
Oh, okay.
He was like, well, let's have fun with it.
Did anybody crowd surf with that one, or did
No.
the bartender crowd surf?
I got on the bar and was singing on the bar for a while because,
Oh, that's nice.
That is a good
Yeah.
show.
it was just like, why not? Let's get weird. No one's here.
What about the best crowd?
Best crowd, I gotta always give it up for Montreal. It still feels like my hometown. That's where my career started. But there's been a few just really great shows there. Like especially after an album comes out and you're coming back from tour and it's like the first home show post tour. And just you start to recognize all those super fans and like they know all the words, and sometimes I'll bring up people on stage that I know are like funny or excited about it or whatever, and it's just like Quebec is a place where people genuinely really love music, and a lot of other places, especially in Canada, even if you love a band, you're like standing at the back, like, yeah, they're okay. And like they're on their phone, you think they're like tweeting like, I hate this singer, but then you see after like best singer I've ever seen. I'm like, why were you frowning at me and with your arms folded?
Yeah. It's funny how it takes courage to be up on stage playing the music, but also as just someone in the audience, it kind of takes courage to move around, move your body.
I used to be
a
terrified
freak.
of going to concerts for that reason.
Yeah.
Did you
dancing?
really?
Yeah, when I was young, I would have it like I would say no to shows because I was like, I don't know how to act at a concert without looking like a
Aw.
huge dingus. So I don't I don't know. I think you're onto something. You
Yeah.
are putting yourself out there a little bit socially to be like,
Yeah. I mean,
this is how I dance to, Our Lady Peace or whatever.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Good moves.
Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like when you're in a crowd and you have people all around you, you're like, who's looking at me? Is everybody looking at me? I feel like everybody's looking at me. But the chances are that everybody's doesn't give a fuck about you.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody's.
They're not there for
Everybody's
you.
thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But hard to kind of get over that.
I overdo it in the crowd, like especially with a friend's band. You know,
Yeah.
like I fight my way to the front. I'm like, wow,
Hell
you
yeah.
rock! I love you. One more song.
That's awesome. You seem like a fun person to go to a concert with.
Well, especially you got to support your friends and stuff. And like, I know so many amazing bands that just aren't making any money and aren't playing to large crowds, and they deserve the love. And it goes a long way. Like having played shows like that in Barrie, there's absolutely no one there. Like just even having one person that's absolutely stoked makes a huge difference. You're giving that one person in the crowd that experience. So
It's
That
also
helps out.
contagious. Like if
absolutely.
if a small group of people start just rocking out to a show, like they're really loving it, that spreads like wildfire. Like it can make or break a show and how people walk away from it. Like if nobody was there dancing, it'd be like, oh yeah, it was it happened and I went home and it was good. It was good, I think. But if everyone's just thrashing and throwing down, like I feel like people walk away being like, that show was fucking mental. That was crazy.
And
It makes
it's
a big
usually
difference.
like the friends of the band that are starting that, and then
It's
it
important.
catches
Yeah.
on.
Do you guys have like crowd control techniques, like how to get the people moving if you notice a bit of a lull?
Yeah.
I tend to be very like nervous, funny, and that seems to work really,
Really?
well.
Like kind of like an honesty vibe where they feel connection more, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't really mean to. It's just like a truth serum up there. Like,
What's an example?
So do you? Sorry, if you had something locked and loaded.
go ahead.
I'm wondering. Like, it seems like you ad lib. You just kind of make stuff up. You're not like I have to say the same thing
Oh,
every
God.
time. You have like a script. Because
I
know some.
can't do that. My dad does that, and
Okay.
I do make fun of him, but it makes me cringe because I know all his like moves and his lines, and like I'm like, you did that last night. Like, how can you live with yourself?
But if it works,
so, no,
it works.
I'm just like blah 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 blah. But
I like that. I mean, when you're touring with the band and you know all the tricks, it's one thing. But when you're a first time viewer in the audience and you have no clue, I mean, they have a different experience. But I've gotten to see both now. I see like the script, then I also compare it to when I've seen a person live, Mac DeMarco pissing his pants. That
Sure.
could be scripted, actually. Come to think of it, that could be very well.
At least premeditated.
highly likely.
He would have had to drink water for or something.
Exactly.
I have love for it all, I guess. So do you have a go-to? Make
No.
some fucking noise. I can't fucking hear you.
Oh, you've been.
I have been to a Kandle show.
Yeah, a lot of fart
One of
jokes.
those. Yeah.
Constant fart jokes. That's how I win them over.
Do you ever have trouble ending a show? I know like some comedians, they are very bad at ending the show. They don't know what to do.
Hmm.
Is there like
No. Oh, as Jeff knows, I love to leave. So by the last song, I'm just like, oh, yes, finally. And when they call for an encore, I'm like, no. I have like
She does love
15
performing.
minutes.
Don't let that give you the wrong impression.
Yeah, sometimes.
But it's hard. It takes a toll, right? Physical toll. It's
Oh, yeah.
insane. What kind of toll does it take on you?
I'm completely mental, and that sucks. So there's a lot of like anxiety, and especially coming out of COVID, I was extra mental. So the first tour back, Jeff was my hero. I had such a pre-show process that I had to do that was like screaming, singing, vocal warm-ups, boxing, vomiting, like all these things. It would be a whole day.
The 9-step process.
Oh God, yeah. It was just a lot to like get ready to like, first of all, be in a room with people again, and then also be the center of attention and like think about germs, and like it was just like, I don't know, I was
Yeah.
really messed up about it.
I don't think you're alone in that feeling.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends are just like, oh, just have a beer, walk on. Like Jeff's easy peasy. It's just totally natural for him.
Well, enough church parties and, you build up that confidence.
Praise be.
Yeah, but it usually takes me about one song, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I rock. I forgot. But the whole day leading up to it, I'm just like, imposter syndrome. You suck. You should go to McDonald's and cry like normal.
Like normal
Like
people.
normal people. Take the bus to McDonald's and
Yeah.
cry.
Get my Filet-O-Fish of tears.
I was gonna ask you about imposter syndrome. Now I guess you deal
Yeah.
with that. Have you ever had a breakthrough moment where you kind of felt like you beat it and you felt like you deserve to be there?
Constantly.
Yeah.
It's always up and down. Like
Mm.
one day I'm like, I am a legend, and the next day I'm like, I suck so bad. You never know. I mean, it is annoyingly very common for artists.
What is how do you reset?
Writing is the best thing I can ever do for myself and for my creativity. It's the one thing that I have in my life that makes me feel truly like alive and excited. And sometimes I worry that I don't get like excited about anything. You know, you watch people like doing other things or like going to a sports game and they're like, ah, like I don't feel that ever, except when I come up with a new song and we're producing a new song, and like the creativity process is so exhilarating to me, and that makes me go from like I'm a piece of shit to like we can do anything in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Are you always chasing the next thing? You know, you make something great. Are you on to the next thing, or do you take the time to kind of celebrate the win, celebrate the little win? Or are you just constantly, all right, that's done. I
It
feel shit now. I need to make the next thing.
It really depends. Like sometimes if the new thing is really good, you can ride that high for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, every day is different in my crazy mind.
I wanted to talk about music videos. It's how I guess I met Jeff here on
That's
the
how
7
we
music
met.
video.
You, we
and-
all met Jeff the same way.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
we met on a set of Manila Gray.
It was
I guess.
Manila Gray back. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was Brandon Fletcher project.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask you, who is Brandon Fletcher?
Jeff's roommate
End of list.
and my other boyfriend.
Other boyfriend.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, when I realized that I was stuck in Vancouver due to that whole pandemic nonsense, I didn't know anybody really here. Everyone I had worked with was out east, and I just did like a Facebook post. Facebook kind of works out for me, which is embarrassing to say. It's like the top mom tool, and
That's
me.
great. Marketplace.
Exactly. I love
Great.
Marketplace.
Hell yeah.
And I just posted like, anyone recommend a good director in Vancouver that would be a good fit for me. And this awesome woman I know, Natasha Dupre, she's is music licensing and sings for movies, if you know her. She's really cool. Used to work for my dad's label and stuff, and she posted Brandon's name. And I looked him up and I was like, this guy might be my artistic soulmate. So I messaged him and I was like, I wrote a Bond song and I want to make a Bond music video. Like, does that interest you in any way? And he just freaked out about the idea right away and was like, I'm already making a Bond video just for fun, like by myself. So like, oh God, yes.
I don't think you could have known how perfect a person to ask that
Yeah.
question to that would be.
I know. I was like, do you like Bond at all? And he was like,
He had to fan himself.
Yeah, stares over
Pretty
at his
much.
poster of Pierce Brosnan next to Daniel Craig.
Fully
Yeah.
nude, signed autograph.
Yeah,
And the three of us got together and we realized we were all completely Bond obsessed. And then we took our sweet time making that first video because, you know, the world really slowed down and
Mm.
we were having a ton of fun being very creative with it. And we made a lot of it in their living room, which was so cool for me. 'Cause I mean, now I'm very used to Brandon's ways of, he can make anything possible, which blows my mind. Like with whatever
Mm.
budget we have, he will make it look amazing. And like we had $1 million. But it was my first video ever, like without a stylist, without a makeup artist, without like all these things, and like shooting in someone's living room. So at first I was like really anxious and scared. I'm like, I don't know what I'm walking into here. And we did some green screen stuff, and he showed me in his room like within the hour of shooting it, and I was just blown away. I'm like, you just did that in your living room with your best friend? Like, how?
Yeah, I love it. I love his style. I think
He's
you guys
so
are a
good.
great match.
Oh,
He's,
we think so too.
Not only a great director and brings a lot of great energy to the room, like, you know when he's there. You know when he's showed
Oh,
up.
100%.
He'll make his presence clear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's great with the like visual effects side of things too.
Oh, man.
And kind of he can do everything. He can take every role if he needs.
Totally.
Yeah.
And just shameless Brandon plug. He is just the most hardworking, talented guy I know. He's just incredible. If anybody is not familiar with his work, go look him up. Brandon Fletcher.
Yeah, and come on the pod, Brandon.
He will.
Oh yeah, get him on the pod. He would love it.
He would love it.
You've also worked with another one of our friends, Byron Kopman,
Oh,
cinematographer,
yes.
and
Jeff and I both have like a art crush on Byron.
Oh, Byron's tremendous.
Oh, Byron and his lighting. Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys made some really incredible work together. What was it like working with that team?
So good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. So good. Like I think was the first one Honey Trap?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Honey Trap, and then
the one in the bedroom with the lipstick, was that one
That was the
before or
second
after?
one.
That was after. Okay.
Yeah, so Honey Trap was the first one, and
Yeah.
Brad and I had our super ambitious idea and low budget as always, and Byron just wanted to get involved, and he liked the project, he liked the treatment, he liked the song, and just witnessing all of it come together was so exciting to me, like seeing just the lighting in each shot and like watching it all be made. I was so blown away. Like each girl, and it was the girl band shoot, but each of the girls had their own color scheme and their own like world that they lived in, and every shot was like breathtaking to me and felt like Blade Runner, and I couldn't stop giggling the entire time. Supposed to be this tough rocker chick, and I'm like, this looks so cool.
Do you have any creative control on Brandon's projects at all, or is he kind of just taking the wheel and you're just along for the ride?
We're pretty collaborative. I think it helps that we have more or less the exact same taste in everything. So I think he's only ever shut down like a couple of my ideas ever, and I love all of his. So it's pretty effortless creating together. Like I'll just throw some idea out to him, and he's like, absolutely, and then add this and imagine this, and I'm like, yes. Like every single concept we've come up with has been just smooth sailing.
Jeff, you also shot a live session with Kandle and I guess a number of performers in that room.
Oh, the one at Hipposonic, maybe.
Your face.
Hipposonic, yeah. Yeah.
Like so long
And that
ago.
looked great too. Once again, very talented. Can lift a piano, can lift a camera,
Oh,
can lift a guitar, bass.
It was a pretty simple setup, but it was the real trick is like, which I didn't really factor in. Stupidly, I didn't even think about this at the time. But
One camera.
well, it's a one take shoot, right? And the take that's best for video, like maybe you had like a bad focus buzz or something, like that doesn't necessarily mean that was the best audio take from the performers. So I didn't even think about that, but luckily we ended up lining up, I think, on every single take, like what was best for audio and video. But that was like way harder than I thought it was going to be.
I know, it was a very ambitious like afternoon.
That was great. I liked the reveals, the timing of
Oh,
revealing
thank you.
Kandle and all that. Yeah, it looked great.
It was very improv, so thank you very
Lighting
much.
was nice and all that,
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Hipposonic Studios, I actually just discovered them while researching about your music, and very interesting place. A lot of legends have walked through those studios and recorded music. What can you tell me about that place? What's it like to be among so many legends?
That studio feels like home to me. I've worked there so many times. I know everybody there so well, and it honestly is like the most comfortable place ever for me to be. And then when we were making Set the Fire, that was at the very beginning of COVID, and we actually got quarantined in Hipposonic. So I lived in the studio for like a month. And
Actually lived in it. You sleeping in it, or you just kind of
a bit of both.
Okay.
Rob, the owner, like offered to, he's like, if you want to just make it your home.
Oh,
like
wow.
obviously all the other bands canceled, and we went about the recording in such a different way, because we noticed that there was this like clock of doom above our heads. So we got all the girls in for all the backing vocals before we had anything other than drums and bass. I hadn't even sung yet. So I was writing all these backing vocal parts, knowing that like these girls were not going to come back to the studio within 24 hours because they had to go fight for toilet paper like everybody else. And so we were just trying to get everything done in a weird panic order until there was just 4 of us left: the engineer, the assistant, my producer, and me. And we called each other the quarantine, and we were like, well, I guess let's just make this record all ourselves.
So
But, yeah, Hippo was my home for a while.
I wanted to look up their like description here because I don't. Sorry,
The
hang
studio?
on.
Whose
Yeah.
description, Hippos?
Yeah, they name all the people who have walked through the studios. I thought it was pretty cool.
I don't even know if I know any of them.
Okay, here we go. So
Come on,
Hipposonic is a music recording studio in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It was founded in
Oh, it's a test.
founded in
Oh, God, I don't know.
1989.
Really?
Yeah. The facility houses oh god, nerdy stuff. All right, blah blah.
Nerd,
houses
nerd.
a really expensive mixer. Over the years, Hipposonic has had a wide variety of clients, Canadian and international. Is that a typo? Including Tom Cochrane, Biff Naked, James Brown. Did I say that right? Cochrane.
Cockring?
Cochrane.
What do you say?
Jeff and I are going to Europe with Tom Cochrane. Like, actually, we are.
That's like the comedian. He's not actually the musician. He's just
Yeah.
Biff Naked, James Brown, Delirium, Prism, Selena Gomez, Econoline Crush.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like off-brand Orange Crush.
That sounds familiar.
Well,
but I
they
don't-
were. I'm trying to think of when they were big. I feel like that's an early 2000s.
Were they like an emo band?
I don't think I ever listened to them.
Note to self, look it up later.
Prism, Selena Gomez, Econoline Crush, Mother, Skinny Puppy, Chaos,
That's Rave's band, Skinny Puppy.
Oh yeah.
Kinney Star, Lamb of God, Swollen Members.
Oh yeah.
Sick.
Love Swollen Members.
Sick.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Great band.
Mhm.
Favorite song?
I don't remember the name.
Fuel Inject.
What was
Oh,
what was
Injected.
the main hit?
Like maybe it was like Lady something. I don't know. Lady something or other. I don't know. Kiss,
Oh.
Gob, Strapping Young Lad,
I love Kiss.
Colin Linden, Bobby Curtola, Colin James, Sarah Harmer. The list goes on and on and on. Mariana's Trench, Macy Gray,
Oh,
Mm.
I like Macy.
Moist.
No way.
Yes.
Moist.
Yes.
Wow.
Tegan and Sarah.
They're in right now.
They're in right now. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Not to like dox them, but
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. This is
They're
going out in release.
exposed. Everyone go to Hipposonic for your
they'll be
autographs.
gone by the time this comes
Yeah,
out.
they'll be gone. Don't worry. Yeah, and many more. But that's you're not on this list. What the hell?
I know I should message
Yeah,
the
I didn't
owner.
hear my name on that list, Matt.
Yeah,
I just read the
I'll-
bio of the studio.
I'll send the email. Don't worry.
Please
Yeah,
do.
I'll send it.
The funny thing is, the owner's so sweet. If I said that, he would probably be like, "Oh my god, I
top of the
haven't
list.
updated. I'm so sorry," and just do it. And I'd be like, "Dude, I was messing around, but also thank you." Put me at the top or like beside Kiss. I would appreciate. In between Kiss and Moist would be nice.
Alphabetically between Kiss and Chaos, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I read that and it crossed my mind. I wonder if Kandle ever goes in there and just kind of looks around, thinks, so many cool people have walked through here, or are you just kind of in your zone doing your thing?
Yeah, I've honestly never thought of that in my life. You know, I was raised around cool people. Whatever.
Jason, you wrote this question. I wasn't even aware of it, but Jason, you wanted to ask something about
Did I?
Jack White?
Oh, you did a music video.
Yes, my
Jack.
good friend Jack White.
Ah,
Yeah.
Cool.
Obviously, you don't
yeah.
care.
What's the relationship there? How did that come about? It's good. It's
Best friends, soulmates.
Uh-oh.
Am I allowed to lie?
Oh, yeah,
of course. You can do whatever you want.
There's no
Yeah,
fact
I
checkers
haven't-
on this podcast.
Yeah, I haven't told the truth once so far.
Yeah, me either. Completely full of shit, full time. Anyways, Jack White. Yeah, we dated for years.
Wow.
Shut up.
Just hell something.
Stop exposing me. No, that happened. That was a weird opportunity that
Yeah.
fell into my lap that I kind of thought was a joke at first. I was playing in LA, and this cinematographer from Montreal that I love, Christophe Brandel, he's a genius. He DM'd me on Instagram, and he's like, "Would you come to Nashville?" I'm like, "LOL," like, "Sure." And he's like, "I kind of need you to be in this Jack White music video." And I was like, "Ha ha, ha, for sure." And he's like, "No, really, like, we can't cast anyone in Nashville that is a believable assassin." And I'm like, "What about me makes you think that I am?" And he's like, "Just trust me. We have a feeling. Like, can you be here tomorrow for your like violence training?" And I was like,
Whoa.
I'm like, Yeah. So
Violence training.
I got on a plane and got to Nashville, and then next thing I knew, I was learning about guns and knives and doing all this
Hell yeah.
training. And then I got to shoot a music video with my hero, which, as I mentioned before, not when I was lying about us being lovers, but I'm not cool with meeting celebrities. So
Did you accidentally shoot him? Oh God, sorry, I forgot the training.
like kind of though. There was a scene where I was just watching him do his guitar take and like drooling and trying to, keep my heart rate down. And then the director was like, "Oh, what would be really cool in this shot is if Kandle like walks up to him and holds a gun to his head while he's doing a solo."
That does sound cool.
Okay. Just like pop an Ativan. I was like, yeah, no problem.
I haven't seen this music video yet. I am.
My
I'm
finest work.
excited.
It's an
yeah.
experience.
She kills a bunch of people. It's great.
I
Yeah.
kill many men, which was
Yeah.
very therapeutic.
It's
for
actually it's a
me.
dope video. It's great.
It's super
And
good.
then like the second day of shooting, we're in the prison where they did like Shawshank and stuff. It's like crazy. And they hand me a script, and I'm like, no. Like, this is a music video. I don't talk. Jeff knows I hate like talking on camera. It's hard. And I had like 3 lines. I was having a complete meltdown, and they put the little mic in my shirt, and I was so worried I was going to ruin the take because my heartbeat was so loud. And I asked the director, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm not an actor. He's like, just be your usual, like, cool, smoky, sultry self. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I just tried to, like, lower my voice as much as possible. And I was like,
Jack.
I was like, I didn't kill him.
Oh, for the interrogation
Oh,
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I was like, slouch, you look cooler when you're slouching.
You do look cool in that video.
Thank you. I tried really, really hard to look cool. But it was an incredible experience because he's definitely one of my biggest heroes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Who are some of your other heroes, or just like musical influences in general? There's probably so
Jimmy
many.
Page.
Mm.
Big Jimmy Page fan. Jeff and I love the Heads, as we say. Portishead, Radiohead.
Oh,
Talking
the heads.
Talking Heads.
Talking heads too.
That's true.
Yeah, anybody with a head.
Yeah.
Anybody with a head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up obviously with a lot of like 90s alternative music and
What about like a guilty pleasure?
so many. I love Aqua, love the Spice Girls, love Miley Cyrus, Dua Lipa, lots. Backstreet Boys.
Did you have posters on your bedroom wall?
Of course I
Yeah,
did.
Like who was on your wall?
It was pretty random. I'm not going to lie. It was like
Yeah.
Britney Spears beside the Mars Volta, beside Kurt Cobain, beside the Pixies. It's like, I liked what I liked. I wasn't embarrassed.
Beside Nardwar.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yes, Nardwar.
Yeah. No, I never had the Nardwar poster. It's not too late, though, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I do have a gift for you.
Wow. Oh,
Good.
man.
That's really good.
I don't. I'm sorry.
I remember partying with him at Warp Tour when I was like 15.
Oh man.
Remember Warp Tour?
Oh, yeah.
Hadn't been.
Yeah.
I wasn't on my body Red Bulls at that age. Only when I was 13. But
I drove
Yeah.
all the way down to Vancouver to go to Warp Tour.
Maybe we
No, I
met
missed-
and
Mind blown.
had a time and don't remember.
I doubt it.
Couldn't have.
I don't think I was cool enough to go and like engage with anyone.
Yeah, I was intimidating
I
as
was
hell.
like with my friends.
I was
hope
wearing
nobody
like,
else talks to me.
fingerless gloves with like spikes on
Oh,
them
I definitely would not talk to you.
in my cheerleader uniform.
I wasn't looking to get beat up. I wasn't gonna go talk to you. Come
Well,
on.
that's a shame. Our time came eventually.
I feel like I kind of could have went on the music festival thing a little harder in my 20s.
Mm.
Now 30. I don't know. I missed the Squamish Music Fest.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's gone forever. And
Yeah.
Pemby Music Fest.
Yeah.
Never been to the Gorge.
I know Gorge always looked like a great time.
What's the gorge?
in Washington.
It's down looking over the Columbia River Valley, and it's just like in
Ew.
the backdrop of the stage is just this huge gorge.
Delightful.
Amazing. It's gorgeous.
Hold on.
Damn. Nice one.
There we are.
Very good. Very good.
So you're on this independent music journey now. Curious, you said you had some nightmares. You probably talked about this in the past, but I don't know. What are some of the like nightmares of working with a label? Sorry, traumatic. Bring it to a traumatic kind of. transition here.
Babe, where's that?
There's the creative, I guess, is it mostly just the creative kind of constraints?
No.
No?
The thievery is a lot.
Oh, jeez.
There's a lot of shadiness. There's a lot of stealing. There's a lot of abuse, a lot of sexism. And my second label, which I'm not entirely allowed to talk about in detail, NDA, cool, right? But I basically was forced to make the same record over and over again for 4 years. I wasn't allowed to tour. I wasn't allowed to do interviews. I was owned by someone, and I had absolutely no control and no freedom. And I kept believing, like, they took me when I was kind of in the peak of my career. My first album was just kind of blowing up. I was doing the award circuit, doing big tours, lots was happening. And then I got signed by what I thought was the bigger, better label, and just got like basically locked in a studio and made to do the same thing over and over again, being convinced there was like some global marketing strategy plan that was about to happen. And if I'd try to like ask for an update or like, say I got this opportunity or I'm getting asked to go on this tour, I would just get yelled at or like told I was wrong. And, I was trying to be like a good soldier, a good girl, and I would do everything that these men would tell me to do in the industry. I had managers and labels and agents and all these guys that would tell me, I've been around the sun a few more times than you, sweetheart. Like, trust me. And I felt like I had to trust them. Like I didn't know more than them, and I had signed my career away into their hands, and they had many successes to prove that, they knew what they were doing. So I kind of had no choice but to believe them until it got so bad that I eventually had people around me that were also in successful bands and stuff witnessing how I was being treated and what was happening. And they were like, this is not okay. So I had to get a lawyer involved and start that whole battle. And like, it was a lot. It was not what I was expecting, and absolutely not how I thought my career was going to play out after having like a pretty natural rise at the beginning. But like, it does feel really good to be free, but I'm definitely still fucked up about it and not sure like the right way to go, because I have a habit of like believing and trusting people, which, is that's a world I want to live in, where I can just have a conversation with someone and know that they're not lying to me. But in this industry too, like, everyone will tell you what you want to hear. And that's a really hard thing to not believe when you're in a big meeting in LA and they're saying you're the next big thing, and a room full of people is over the moon about you. And you're like, okay, like, why would I say like bullshit and walk out of there? Right? Oh yeah. Music industry, amazing.
So what would you tell your younger self, or maybe what would you advise someone, younger than you, 10 years younger than you, coming up in the industry, trying to make that decision between a label, independent, they have the email from the label, they don't know who they are, oh, they seem big, they're telling me good things, like what do you say to that person, whether it's yourself or someone else?
A few things. Definitely always trust your gut. If you have a bad feeling, it's probably for a reason. And learn your record deal before you sign it, because record deals, just in theory, they sound exciting. Like, ooh, I have a record deal. Just that statement is exciting. But what it essentially is the world's worst loan, where you're giving everything away for nothing, and you're owned for the world, sometimes for 100 years after death. Like, it's insane. Wow. And, you have to really make sure that it's worth it for you, and trust the people that you're going to work with, because it is like a marriage that you can't get out of, and if things go wrong, like, you are stuck. And my first label wasn't, they actually did some great things for me, but I just trusted the manager I had at the time, who told me the contract was great and in my favor. And I just skipped 100 pages and signed my name. And I didn't know I signed away all my merch rights. I signed away all my publishing. I signed away everything. So while I was making them a ton of money, like I was living in poverty, I was working at a porn theater, like I was selling out these big shows and I couldn't afford to eat. And I'd come back from tour with all this merch money and have to hand them envelopes of cash and I'd be crying and be like, please, can I eat? And they're like, no, you signed this away. And I had no idea. Like I just didn't know.
So where was your dad in these decisions? Was he, because I assume that he made
It's so
maybe
funny.
some-
People always ask
Yeah.
about that, but like he comes from a very different era.
Okay.
He does not know business and nor does he ever want to. So like, yes, hearing about these things afterwards, he'll get all mad and want to like fight someone or something. But like, he's also signed bad deals. You know, like Sony was his label probably 20 years ago and they still own all of his stuff. Like he doesn't own his own music still from signing a record deal 20, 30 years ago. And in those days too, they were even more dramatic where everything they pay for, you don't realize this as a young band, right? But like when you get flown out on a private plane and taken out to these fancy dinners and put up in a nice hotel while you're making your record and the label's paying for it, you're paying for it. You owe all of that back. So in his day, it was like $100,000 video shoots, like $500,000 album budgets. And they thought, you know, the label's paying for it. And then you spend the rest of your life paying off that debt. So I dealt with that a lot in the first deal without realizing it. Like I remember after the Junos, like my team went out and celebrated and went for a nice dinner and like, you know, we're having a good time. And as I tend to do, I love to leave. I went back to my shitty motel and had a bubble bath and like watched Seinfeld. And then I realized that like I paid $3,000 for that weekend. Like I owed that and I wasn't even there. Like I took the Greyhound bus to the Junos because I couldn't afford to fly there with my label. And I'm like, it's just so weird.
So one of your pieces of advice was to actually read the deal. But what about a person who feels incompetent? Like, I can't read this. It's 100 pages. What do I do? Buy a lawyer? I don't know. Am I going to get a lawyer? That I have no money. How am I, like, what do you do in that situation?
I think kind of everybody knows at least a few people that they can trust to that at least have that kind of brain where they can read something and understand it. But if you have any bad feeling at all, like do find a lawyer, like absolutely do. Because this is your livelihood and your entire career that you're writing your name on and signing away forever. Like it is worth it to
It's
really
a big
know.
deal.
Yeah.
And you got to, at some point, spend money to make money, I guess.
Yeah, and it's also good to know that record labels are no guarantee, right?
Yeah.
Like they also sign a ton of artists just with the hope that some will succeed. And the ones that don't, they just put on the back burner and like, well, we own you, but we're not going to invest in you. And I have several friends that have been in that situation. And that really sucks where their record gets shelved, but they're still like under contract and they just do nothing. And then there's
that's brutal.
Yeah.
I feel like I operate off gut feelings a lot. And sometimes, you know, you have that gut feeling. It's bad or good. And then you have the other kind of more logical feeling telling you the opposite thing, and then you just end up in this kind of like analysis paralysis kind of scenario where you just can't make a decision.
Yeah.
Totally.
I know it well. I'm a Libra.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I think you had some good pieces of advice there, though, for anybody who might be in that situation.
Without sounding too bitter.
Lawyer up.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to
Yeah.
learn there.
And
yeah,
even
it's
if you
good
don't
to
have a
own
lawyer,
your
you
own
know.
shit if you can, and if you want to work with a team, then make sure you know who they are. There's no rush in signing a deal. You know, if a label wants to work with you, they're not going to be like, "You have 24 hours, or we're going to leave." Like,
They might make it feel that way, though. You might,
Yeah.
even if they don't say it, you might feel like
just like
it's going to go away. You know, you feel anxious.
Totally.
Yeah, which they're probably doing intentionally.
Yeah, it's an
Therefore, red
intimidation
flag.
thing for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gotta say,
So moving forward, what are you excited about
like in life.
in your career?
I'm very excited about the record Jeff and I are making.
Hell yeah.
It's very, very exciting. We are so pleased with how everything has been coming together, and we've been doing it in a very funny way. So I'm kind of just waiting to hear if I got my factor grant or not. So we're working with a no budget scenario right now, and we've just lucked out. Our friend that's an engineer, he he will work with us a lot for nothing. We'll get some free days at Hipposonic. We do a lot just on our laptops, and yeah, we've kind of decided that we're going to be planning the live show as we make the record, which is very exciting to us as well. We're like,
wow, that's a lot of work.
yeah, just was it yesterday or the day before we worked on this introduction to one of the songs where we do like 2 different Bond theme songs as little segues, like a little 30 seconds of each or less.
Yeah.
And we changed all the keys, and so it's like a little hint of this, a little bit of the Nancy Sinatra one, a little bit of Garbage, and then into one of ours, and we've made them all in the same key, and we're like, this is sick.
It's kind of wacky, but it's awesome. Yeah.
So we're already working on all the transitions, and like I'm pretty excited about making the live show as close to the record as possible, which involves using backing tracks for the first time, which I've always been very against.
Oh.
But at this point with the record we're making, like, we would need a 15-piece band. So
yeah, it's kind of in a bit like leaning towards a bit of like the trip hop space a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Still Kandle record, but it's definitely got like things you just can't play live, like something that's sampled or whatever. Like you know, like you can approximate it, but there's gonna be a lot of pieces for sure.
Exactly.
I can't remember the name, but your most listened to song on Spotify right now wasn't what I expected. It wasn't the music that I know you by. It was like more of like an EDM type song.
Oh no, that one's
the
on
one
the
you're
rise again.
Pardon me, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a good like hype song. I was like, let's go.
That was just a
Oh,
session
Fuck
I
Boy.
did.
Fuck boy.
How did you know?
How could you forget a title like that?
That was supposed to be in the this or that's. Write it in there.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, really?
Well, I got hired to sing the chorus.
Okay.
And then I got listed as the singer on the chorus. And this guy, he's super sweet. Obviously, we're entirely different worlds because he's a big EDM star.
Okay.
But he just blew up, like,
Ooh.
mostly in Europe. His name's Apache.
Okay.
And he
Apache?
does like a bunch of like Adidas ads in Russian and stuff.
Oh,
Like it's
that sounds
it's
radical.
like it's the opposite of everything that I know. But this song just like exploded, and I've seen it like in weird sports ads and stuff. And he does these crazy stadiums like in
Whoa.
weird places in Europe and stuff. And he just started as like a fun project. He was like, I'm just making some songs for fun. Like, do you want to come sing on this chorus? I'll give you a couple $100. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then it's just like,
Whoa. Are
Yeah.
you gonna perform that with him ever?
probably not. He's got all the DJ stuff. I think I'm just a button.
Yeah, but
I'm just
I've
a
been at the
button now.
shows where you jump on the table and you sing your heart
Hell
out,
yeah.
you know? And
I mean,
everybody,
I probably would. It would be hilarious.
oh, that would be
Especially
incredible.
how
Yeah.
un-me it is. If I just like, I'd probably wear like a whole different costume. Thug boy.
Yeah. I mean, it's
That'd be dope.
It's
Yeah.
literally you. It's your voice.
Yeah, get him to fly you
So,
out somewhere then.
That would be incredible.
Just
I
to sing the
know.
chorus.
Yeah. I'll come do a one-off at one of his Russian stadiums.
Have you been to an
It's pretty
EDM
safe,
show? Like
no,
a rave
I
or
didn't know what
something?
EDM was, so I showed up at the studio. I had to Google it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was like, Edam?
they got Adam.
Edamame.
Edamame?
That's a Japanese folk
Yummy.
music song. Yeah, they got the turntables and they're just standing there, waving their hands. But then the singer will
Yeah.
come out and they'll rotate like the lead singer
I
or
don't even
whatever.
think he does that, which is very impressive to like sell out that. Like, you should look up his shows. They're huge, and it's just him with all his electronics.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Did you write this song?
No.
Oh, so you just showed up and had to sing it and
Yeah.
blew up like that.
Yeah,
That's pretty nice.
pretty much.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense because it was a little bit outside the usual Kandle song.
Yeah.
Fuck boy.
I know. I didn't know
The
my name
content
would be
maybe
on
is
it.
similar, but the
Yeah.
the type of music is different.
That's great though. I mean,
As I'm like, Edam.
every song has.
Have you
its-
heard my Edam song?
Every song has its place, And when I'm trying to rage, I will be playing that song.
Totally.
I'm trying to
I've
get hyped
definitely
up.
put it on like going to the gym. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, it's a great gym song.
Right? I'm like, I need something with energy.
What song are you most proud of?
That's out or not? I guess that's out.
That's
That
out.
Makes. Oh, that's a hard question.
Don't look at me.
Jeff, what
I'm just
song
curious
am I
of
most
what you're
proud of?
Only you could answer that.
I mean, I think it's kind of there's too many records. So
It's a
I'm trying to just
Humble
think about
brag.
the last one. Yeah, so many records.
Oh,
Just so many.
how about instead of most proud of, just what's a song you're proud of? Everyone.
Every single. There's one on the last record called Misty Morning, which I'm quite proud of.
Sorry, it's my.
Rude.
Dave, cut that out.
the pizza's ready.
And that one is just, I'm kind of like a moody, dark guy. That was the first love song I've ever written in my entire life. And it's just like piano and vocal and really like vulnerable. And I was very scared to do something that different, but it really connected with people. And I was very, very proud of it and very excited about it. But I think that one's the standout one for me just because it is so different for me.
Are you? Is it endearing or is it annoying when people compare your music to Lana Del Rey?
I hated it when I was younger because it happened a lot when like her first EP came out like 6 months after my first EP, and the comparisons were. But then I became like a diehard fan, and now like whenever I hear that, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I would
love
say it's
everything she
endearing.
does
That's-
now.
She's fantastic, and you get little hints of it every now and then, which definitely is a good thing.
I've seen her live twice now, and I'm just like crying in the front row in all the harmonies.
As you do.
Right? You got to.
That's great. So I think it's that time of the show where we play a game.
Oh no. I mean, oh yay.
Yeah, no, it's a good game.
I'm down.
It's
to
called
game.
"Does This Smell Like a Bus?" No.
No.
No, it smells wonderful in here. The new space, very fresh, very delicious.
I think you're smelling yourself.
Or it could be Jason.
Yeah, it's probably me.
Good smelling men.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are our first guests in the new space, pretty much. Like when it's all been done up like this, we have a little. We have a grid here, and we got a backdrop spot. So if you need a space to shoot a little music video or something like that, let us know.
Ooh,
That's what I build it
that's
for.
Good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're the king and queen of DIY now. So.
Yeah, great. So that black bar right there that I'm pointing at just
Yeah.
comes down. You put a backdrop, paper
It's even on
backdrop,
road.
9
That's
foot
great.
wide. Got all the space.
My God, they've thought of everything.
Yeah.
Bathroom, functional.
I'm like planning the new song video. I'm like, we could just do it here.
Yeah,
You know the one.
you guys are welcome anytime. But it is
We
now
will take you
time
up on that.
to play this or that. Jason, do you have the music? Usually Dave does
Good
this.
God, yeah, I don't know.
God, be more like Dave.
Then I'd have COVID, so don't know if I can
Just
do that.
so
Do
in
shit.
right now.
Yeah. I don't think I do have the music.
What's the music?
Well,
You got the music.
I don't think so.
You want Jeff to whistle?
I mean, I have
That's
this.
not that. No, that's not the music.
That's a
I think
great
Let's see.
song.
you have the categories that I made. Go to this or that.
Okay, and then
And then there should be like a few songs. Just run through them all.
All I do is
No, that's after. When
hold
she
on, Jeff,
wins.
help out. You're a music guy.
Well,
No.
that's game over.
Yeah, that's not that one.
Oh, game over. Good. We survived the game.
No. That doesn't mean game over.
Okay, this was great, guys. I'm out.
No, I don't think I have it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It just won't be that intense for you because normally you have the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. Just
Oh.
why don't you just go to YouTube? No, that's X Files.
Yeah, no.
X-Files.
Although weirdly similar to
Yeah.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh, I have that.
Yeah. Oh, you have that?
Yeah, I got
But
it.
we stopped using it because
Yeah.
of copyright issues.
Yeah.
Wait, are
So
we
we might replace it
are
in
we
post.
possibly gonna become millionaires in this game?
Sadly, no.
You can only pay
This
like 3
game-
seconds at a time or
I'm
whatever.
really
the
bad
legal-
at trivia. I hope this isn't trivia.
No, don't worry.
Jeff's
I'll-
good. Jeff will play.
We have a list of. Well, this is a game for you, Campbell.
Oh,
We've,
no.
I mean, Jeff, you can chime in if you like. But we're interested in Candle's
I'll
answers.
just peanut gallery. You take it.
For this game, there are no rules. There are no losers. There are no winners.
Okay. It's sounding better.
Is that really a game? I don't know. Or is it just an activity?
I
I don't know.
don't know
Yeah.
what it is now.
But,
Your performance is based on a gut gut feeling.
Oh God.
And we're just going to ask you a list of things, this or that. We have a list written,
Then why
custom
am I
written
so
for you.
scared?
Because you should be. All right, play the music.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
I need the
All right.
safety
Are you
glasses.
ready? Yes, put on the pitties. Candle,
they're hard
Candle
with
did
the-
rate
with
our
the
wardrobe before she got on the podcast. She found the
headphones.
69 Letterman jacket and the new Admire.
I will be
heart-shaped
taking it
glasses.
home.
I
with
just
me
noticed
today.
the 1015 badge on the left.
Where?
Nice.
All right, are you ready?
No.
Montreal or Vancouver?
Montreal.
Writing or recording?
Recording.
Late nights or early mornings?
Nice.
Say it all together now. Billy Talent or Simple Plan?
Neither?
Jeff?
Billy Talent.
Phone call or text?
Text.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Indoor or outdoor venue?
What's the weather?
He asked the questions.
No, it's overcast.
Indoor,
There's a little
indoor,
dribble.
indoor.
There's a rainbow,
little
though, a
dribble?
beautiful rainbow.
Oh.
There are doves,
Oh.
and there's lightning.
Indoor.
Okay. EDM or edamame?
Edamame.
Nickelback or Bare Naked Ladies?
Nickelback.
Shoot a music video or play a live performance?
Shoot a music video.
Small and intimate or big and loud?
Big and loud.
Miley or Aqua?
Oh. Equal love.
One or the other.
They're both
Aqua.
listening. They're both listening. Careful. Aqua. Jeff, you want to chime in on that one? Miley or Aqua?
I'm a Miley.
Poutine or Montreal smoked meat?
Poutine.
The John or La Jean? Come on. What the?
Oh, it's weird that was in this already.
Yeah, that's funny how that works.
One or the other.
Is
You know
this
what?
a
This
simulation?
might be the
What
first
is-
time I ever skip a question. All right, moving on. Nanaimo bars or ketchup chips?
Nanaimo bars.
You sure about that one?
100%. Deeply obsessed with the Nanaimo bar.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Acoustic or electric?
Electric.
6-string or 12-string?
Does anyone say 12?
This was we got producer guy who will not be named over here. He suggested this. I said, dude, I don't think she's playing a 12-string.
I mean, I can if he wants me to, but 6-string.
All right. Crowd surf or mosh pit?
Crowd surf.
And final, I go blind or I go deaf.
I go blind.
She's going blind. All right, that's how you play this.
That's how you play.
Nice job.
Yeah, I was
Well
like,
done.
scared.
She's It got a little scary when we got to La Jean.
I thought there was going to be math involved.
I was
and
worried LeJean would show up. And
Your insecurities just math. Oh God.
I can't do math. Just no math questions.
this or
okay?
that. 2 + 2 or 6 × 12.
Ah, pass.
We did leave out 69 or 420.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Too mathy. Too
69, well, 420 or 420, well,
Ah.
69. You know, same time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sounds messy.
Nope. It's
Sounds
just
like a burn.
daily
Yeah.
healthy ritual.
Well, that's a podcast, guys. Thanks so much. This has been feeding off each other, and we have fed off each other. Do you feel well fed?
I feel well fed. Thank you
Good.
for having
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you
Super
so
fun.
much.
Thank you for the jacket I'm stealing.
That's all right. We can get another one of those probably. If we ever need that for any specific reason, we might have to ask
You
for
can
it back.
borrow it,
But
maybe.
yeah, okay.
DM me.
Yeah. Anything to plug? How do people connect with you? You want to do the plug thing?
Oh my God, whose phone was that?
That was Jason's laptop. He's blowing it.
Oh, I love
He's
it.
become the thing he swore to destroy.
Dave.
Dave.
Did you give Dave COVID?
Oh,
Ooh, well, we do
shit.
open mouth kiss
Probably.
pretty regularly. So.
that would do
No,
it.
homies be homies.
Jeff and I have swapped it back and forth a few times.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plug.
Candle on anywhere. Any live shows or anything coming up recently? I guess you're in writing mode.
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
mostly in studio,
Yeah.
so
What?
stand by for the tour dates.
Yeah,
Mm.
I will be there at the next Vancouver show.
Oh,
Crowd
hell
surfing,
yeah. It's going to be a
right?
good one.
Crowd surfing.
You know what? I'll think about it. I feel like there's a lot riding on this
I will
now,
call
so.
you out for a crowd surf and demand the entire crowd lift you.
And
So
if I get hurt, will you stop the
yeah,
show
of course.
and then okay?
Yell at everyone.
All right. Good.
Wear
good.
a helmet though, just in case. You want to be safe out there.
Yes, Mom.
I will make no.
I'll wear a
friends.
helmet too, so you don't feel alone.
All right, that's it. Review the podcast, like us, subscribe, all that stuff. Do it. All
Yeah,
right.
These are good fellas. Show them some love. Come on.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. My name is Jeff.
Uh,
All right.
That's it.
Good day.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Say bye to all the camera.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Feeding Off Each Other. Please subscribe for more great podcasts.